Okay. Just emailed you this. This is our most recent MOU. Kept the same language on the retroactivity in paragraph 1, took out the what was paragraph 4 on the intent to return altogether, and paragraph 3 on the years of experience. I adopted the language suggested by the union, so we're okay with that. On the nursing thing, this is going to be a key, I think, for us in being able to get anything agreed to. We're making it more definitive. Basically, we went through and kind of talk about criteria and who may get it, and the bottom line was everybody would get it, is whether they're existing nursing faculty or hired. We think for this academic year, because we're not sure even if the money's going to be there next year, we would pay a stipend to all current nursing faculty and anybody we're fortunate enough to hire for this academic year. We did add language on prorated in case somebody wasn't, the 10,000 meant to cover the whole year and they get hired for a second semester, they only get 5. Kept the Faculty Development Institute the same for now. We understand where you come from and may need to look at it further, but our view is that we only need the one, at least for the moment. The mentoring thing, we're going to continue to look at that. We do want to do something on the mentoring. I think that's the consensus for everybody. We're just not sure yet exactly how that should look. So I think everybody's on the same page, union and administration, that something should happen on the mentoring side. But we are running out of time to get it done. So we're going to keep looking at that here over the next week or so, but we don't have it definitive enough to put in here. On the health director, program director increasing, we will look at that. That's less likely, I think, is the consensus. The administration point out to me that I forgotten is that they get release time, unlike say workforce directors. And when you account for it, they're actually pretty similar, within a couple $100 of the value of their stipend plus release time is $7,200. I think we can do some rough math. So that's on that. On the Honor Society, when I forget, escapes me, that we are not willing to agree to yet. The idea with that one is that we're looking for equity, and all the discussion from earlier this afternoon, that we have to consider that on a larger scale, what other various clubs and things, and look at them all kind of together and decide if there should be stipends, who should get it, that kind of thing, which is unlikely that we'll be able to reach a consensus here in the next couple of weeks. I think that the consensus on that one is we need to look at that and study it a little bit more, but I'm optimistic maybe something on the mentoring we can include. So I guess what we're saying is, where are we leaving it now is our updated MOU is what we're prepared to do at this point in time. We will get you an updated spreadsheet from Brian Horn that incorporates the minimum increase to 43,000. And if you guys are okay with everything along those lines, at that point, we can sign it. We don't need to come back. If on the other hand, and we'll look at a mentorship, maybe we'll put something there, is our thinking. But if on the other hand, we think we need to come back for another session, then just tell us when we send it to you. And we anticipate that early next week.
Okay.
And then we'll set up another date. We don't want to push it any further when we have to, because of everything else going on. And, it's just, we're getting close, and we're obviously in the hiring stage. Darrell's already working up contracts and whatnot, but we can't get it ratified till September. But I think it'd be a mistake to wait close to that meeting or anything even close to get there, in the hopes that it gets on and ratified in time. So.
Well, we are much closer, Brian. I'll agree to that. The one question I do have under the FDI on number 5 there, that we were promoting the idea of hiring 3 faculty members to fulfill a role that a full-time staff member would be taking. You're basically what you're saying in the language that you have worded here is that this person paying them $5,000 is gonna take on the role of whatever you were gonna pay that staff person. That's gonna be a lot of work for one person. If I'm reading that correctly and what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that's where we have a little issue with, is to hiring the one person.
And candidly, Gary, I'd need to get with Dr. Jeanette further on that, because I'm not sure that what you're envisioning, what we're envisioning necessarily match up, in the sense that I know at one point we are talking about a full-time staff member handling that. And the reduction from 3 to 1 was an idea that Dr. Jeanette discussed with me, but he may be contemplating that they're not, the faculty member will not do as much as was originally contemplated for a full-time staff. I don't know. And so I'm a little bit at a loss, because unfortunately he couldn't make today.
No, I
So
understand.
we can have some discussion on that and see where we stand. And I don't think there's any desire, certainly from administration, to say, well, let's get something we're going to pay a full-time staff member and unload it on you guys for cheap. You know, I didn't get that sense, but I can't
Well,
talk
if you could
about it.
get that clarification for us, along with the other information you're gonna send us, that would help us decide whether we're gonna need another session or not. Caitlin, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, sorry I came in late, but I'm still confused as to why the administration sent us a document saying that there's $35,000 to spend on stipends, and then seems unwilling to spend those $35,000.
Well, so I don't think it's a question, Caitlin. I'm just unwilling to spend it. And I think we want to make sure we spend it appropriately and correct, because if we end up putting something in place today and then we study further stuff that we want, it's going to be much more difficult to change or undo things that we put in place today. So, you know, and that's to say, maybe on the mentorship side, we can look at that. But we look at it not just, we have 35 grand, let's spend all the way until 35 grand is exhausted. But all of these things are a combination. We take some from budget over here, it lessens the budget for stipends or vice versa. You know, the nursing is a little bit different in that we have a specific earmarked pot of money, but with all the everything else, it's give and take, you know.
I understand that. So the nursing is a completely separate issue. That's a different pot of money. There's $35,000 we were told to spend that is available. $35,000 is available for stipends. And in this MOU, there's $5,000 being spent. We've been studying the faculty mentor program for years. We have specific job duties. I don't understand the hesitancy to spend money that we've been told is available to spend. And I don't understand the advantage of basically, in my mind, setting up the Faculty Development Institute to either fail or completely overwhelm someone that they don't do it again. It just feels like we have money, let's do it right, instead of setting it up to be unsuccessful. I know Stan's not here, I know Brian's not here, but I'm confused as to what the motivations of the administration are for not spending money that they've clearly said is available for stipends.
I mean, that you're taking that off a spreadsheet that has since changed to add increases elsewhere. So I don't know that your assumption's accurate.
Well, there's an increase in for the 43, so there's an increase in $2,000 for 8 faculty, but there'd be a decrease for the $50,000 allotted for the 36,000 or 36 unpaid or unfilled positions. And there's also a decrease according to Brian Horn, about the PhDs, because he said that the current spreadsheet had a mistake where they were getting 2.5% per year of experience. So it's actually wrong there. So there should be, if he's going to correct that, there should be more money available that would cover the additional starting salary for the bachelors.
Well, he's not here to counter any of that, but I know he would take issue with the open positions. You know, they're open, but they still have to be accounted for. And I know he uses an average and whatnot because we don't know prior years of service on hire and things of that nature.
But
Right.
some of those positions are specifically available for people that have bachelor's degrees, and it would be impossible for them to start at $50,000 with a $41,000 minimum and 1% for 8 years of experience. I mean, a long story short, I don't think we're agreeable to this MOU, so we'll have to come back, so.
Well, I understand. We'll send you the updated one and then you guys can tell us if we want to come back. You know, ultimately, we want to get an agreement in place because on balance, we think it's a good and fair deal for this academic year. Nobody's going to get everything they want, but you guys know that we have some back and forth and we understand that too. And we're working on the mentorship problems, so maybe there's something there on that. But I can't commit to it today without further discussion.
And I know we understand that. But you know, we'll look forward to some more clarification on all these issues and then that can help us then determine whether we need to come back in a regular session or something that we can hammer out, you know, without having a full session.
Right.
So any information you can provide us in the next week or so, that'd be great.
All right, that's certainly the intent. We will get something over to you and then you tell us where we want to go from there.
Fair enough.
I don't have anything else unless you guys do. I think we might be done for today and can knock off a little early.
Anything else
Thank
from the
you.
union?
No,
We're good.
All right, everybody have a good weekend then.
You too. Take care.
Take care.